We are standing in what was supposed to be my newly renovated kitchen, but you know how those things go.
I am aware of how those things go, but there have been some improvements. First of all, you will notice the white background. Second of all, something is missing that was here before, and it's not the backsplash.
You guys remember the giant plug-in that was in the middle of my island. Now it's sort of gone-ish, but there's a hole here. So we have
this beautiful
from view with this Thanksgiving arrangement. And it's timely because we are talking about Thanksgiving leftovers today.
Yes, we are.
We could get away with this setup.
Yeah, we can.
We think this is going to be really useful for you. If you're new here, we are Charla and
Christy
from Freezer Meals 101.
Something that you might not realize if you are new here is that we are Canadian. Not only are we friends and neighbors, and we have been doing this for a long time together, we are Canadian. So that means we have already had our Thanksgiving. It's in October, and it's just a nice little long weekend with a dinner, and we usually have turkey.
We do. I would say that in general, our food is very similar to American Thanksgiving, but again, earlier and less of a production and event, and just really a dinner, like you said.
Yeah, just
so
a dinner.
We gather with friends and family, or friends or family, which we both did.
We both did.
And so...
And not with each other.
No.
We do spend a lot of time together, but we are allowed to have our own holidays. It's okay.
Yes, although we do occasionally see each other on holidays.
We do see each other on holidays too. That happens for sure.
And so we did end up both having a fair amount of leftovers, especially turkey.
Especially turkey, of course. And what was the first one gone? At our house, it was the gravy.
Ours was stuffing and gravy kind of together.
I did have some stuffing left over, but I will tell you, I did go a little bit overboard on the stuffing. And it worked out because we had some to show you today.
So with our Thanksgiving leftovers, we made so many great things. And through this video, we're also going to be sharing with you some other ideas because we did at one point run out of turkey. So
yes.
We couldn't make everything that we had thought.
Yes, there were more ideas, but we made such good use of all the things that we had left over.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. So this first one uses kind of all your Thanksgiving leftovers. And it's great for not only if you live on your own and you want to have Thanksgiving leftovers, or if you want to take these for lunches because they're single serving, but it could also be something that as your guests are leaving on their way out the door, you could send them home with these as little care packages, and then they could take a little bit of Thanksgiving home with them.
That is a great idea because there are still some things I have left over. We're talking about turkey casseroles. These are little cute mini Thanksgiving dinner casseroles, and I had some butternut squash left. But I honestly think we'd have been out of room. So to start out with our cute little mini Thanksgiving dinner casseroles, we're going to first put in the bottom some mashed potatoes. They will squish down nice and make a really great base. The next thing we will add in is some stuffing, or if you prefer, you can call it dressing. I know my mom always called it dressing growing up because she felt stuffing was a little bit vulgar. You know, think about the era.
Yeah.
Right? Think about the era. Stuffing might be a little bit vulgar, so we're putting the dressing in on top of the mashed potatoes, and then some gravy right in on top of the stuffing. Next will be the green beans. In this case, we are using frozen green beans because we were out, but it's good to have a vegetable in there. If you're going to have a Thanksgiving dinner, it should have some vegetables. And we're going to top it with some turkey. And I've only put cranberry sauce on a few of them because I personally don't like cranberry sauce on my turkey, but I know that people do. And some of these I'm planning to give to my mom, who would appreciate the dressing and probably the cranberry sauce. She lives in a retirement home and she doesn't always get to go downstairs to the dining hall to have dinner. And sometimes it's just nice to have it at home when you're feeling like you don't want to, put shoes on.
Absolutely. We have been wanting to make a white chili chicken, or white chicken chili, is that what it's called?
A white chicken chili.
White chicken chili for a while now. And this gave us a great excuse because we could make it and just replace the chicken with turkey. And it's going to be so good for winter. And it's a nice way for us to experiment with this recipe that we're trying for you. Into our large freezer bag, we put our cooked cubed turkey that was left over, some minced garlic just from a jar, diced onion, 2 cans of diced green chilies, a large can of diced tomatoes, some white beans. Now these are white kidney beans and we have drained them. We've added 2 cans here. Some taco seasoning, red salsa, salsa verde, which is our green salsa. And then we had some turkey stock because Christy made some turkey stock with her turkey leftovers, her turkey carcass. And so we added about 1.5 cups of turkey stock into here. And then we just took out that excess air because when you're freezer cooking,
air is the enemy.
And we don't want that because we want to avoid freezer burn, and that's what air is going to cause you. So then we have just put this in our freezer just like that. And on the day that you go to make this, you can just warm it up in a large stovetop pot or in your Instant Pot or your slow cooker. So it's really versatile and it's going to be a nice one to have, and it's pretty huge.
It will feed a lot of people. You could have Thanksgiving all over again.
Right.
You could have round 2 of Thanksgiving with your white turkey chili.
Yes, there you go. So Christy hosted Thanksgiving at her house and I hosted Thanksgiving for family at my house. And so we ended up with a lot of leftover turkey. Now we didn't eat, neither of us had a ton of other leftovers. Like I had some mashed potatoes that we used for the casseroles, and you had some stuffing.
I had quite a bit of stuffing. I did overdo it on the stuffing. I did stuff my bird this year. Sorry, Mom. I dressed my bird. Because I do believe that it seasons it really nicely and the stuffing itself is better when it's been in the bird. But I also did some in a Dutch oven, in my oven, and I mixed the 2 together. So it was primo. But I made a lot.
And I made a lot too, but I froze half of it because then it's already done for Christmas.
Yay!
Actually, we're going to pop a video right there of side dishes that you can make ahead for Thanksgiving or Christmas because it just makes the holidays so much nicer.
It really does. Otherwise, you're cooking for 2 or 3 days just to, eat for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and that's it? So that's the other reason we are having this video, because people do get tired of turkey sandwiches, apparently.
Apparently, yes.
Apparently. And turkey noodle soup, which is fine. But it's nice to have a few more ideas about what to do with all your leftovers.
Other options.
This next recipe is the turkey pot pie. We had done some chicken pot pies a little while ago, so we had already experimented with this a little bit. And we discovered if you did it with the pie crust, or we used biscuits, mashed them out and made them into the muffin tins, the ones with the pie crust were a little bit better. So we are tasted better, yeah. We are doing the turkey ones in the pie crust today. So what I did was, because I didn't have cans handy, sometimes when I'm cutting out pie dough, if you have a 28-ounce can of diced tomatoes that you've used, that's a nice size for the base of your little mini turkey pot pie, and it will fit nicely into your muffin tin. And then the small pizza sauce cans, I think maybe that or olives is what I used last time, and I didn't have that. So I actually have a biscuit cutting set. I got it from Pampered Chef 100 years ago. I don't even think you can buy it anymore, but I have all these different sized rings.
So you had to run home to get your biscuits?
I actually went home and went and got my biscuit set because it was important, and it's okay. It's okay, and you can use cans if you have the cans. Do it. You can use a glass. It doesn't matter. I just wanted to try it. So I used the big one for the big one, and I used I think the second smallest one is what I ended up using here for the tops. First of all, I made the pie filling. We started with some mushroom soup. We mixed in some frozen mixed vegetables, and in this case, we used corn, peas, and beans. And then we added in our spices. We had sage and marjoram and some thyme. We mixed that all together really, really well. And we added in our turkey, of course, because that is kind of the star of the show here. And then in each of the muffin tins, I was able to take one of my pie circles that I had cut, We just used the pre-bought Pillsbury. I am a pretty good baker. I am not a good pie crust maker. For all of my trying, I have maybe twice in my life made half decent pie crust. So we bought it, and that's okay to do that. So we bought it, and I could make 5 rounds out of each of them. I put them into the muffin tins, and I kind of squished them in to make a nice little pocket for each one, because then I could just go along and scoop each in without having to make a mess or having to try do it while the filling was in it, because we had done that before with the chicken ones and it was just kind of a mess. So this worked a lot better. Then all of the scraps that I had left over, I combined them and I rolled them out again, and I was able to make 10 tops using my biscuit cutter. And I cut into them and fluted them so that they're kind of pretty. One of them had a K on it for Costalic, I don't know. And it just looked like a K, so I'm like, this one's for Charla. And I got them on top of each of the pies into the freezer, because we need to freeze them up, because then we can pop them out and put them into a bag, and you don't have to leave your muffin tin in the freezer for the rest of time. Now, when you go to cook these, you're going to want to grab your muffin tin, put them in, and you can pop that right into the oven, and they'll keep their shape, and they're really, really terrific.
The nice thing about the mini chicken pot pies is if you have a family, kids think they are adorable, and they are much more likely to eat something that's in a muffin tin shape than something else.
Yes.
So you can maybe get them to eat a little bit more of those veggies because of that. And if you live on your own or you're taking these for lunches, they're individual sized.
Before we do the next recipe, here's a little bit more about our renos.
And as renos go, you know how the saying goes that they end up costing more than you think and taking more time than you think.
Mm-hmm. What do they say in the engineering world? You can have it done correctly, you can have it on budget, and you can have it done to schedule. Which two would you like? And that's kind of the truth, isn't it? Like, if you want to do it right, it's going to cost you, and it's going to take a little bit longer. So,
and our kitchen is one of those projects where we were planning to just brighten it up. Just paint the cabinets, and that's it. And obviously change where the handles were, because that has driven me crazy for 17 years.
Yeah.
But then it was like we started talking about the island and the electrical outlet and talking about
and the backsplash and the countertops.
And before you know it, we have a pretty major renovation going on. So one thing that I will say is that when my husband and I came and looked at this house 17 years ago, the first thing that we said is that backsplash is going to be the first thing to go.
17 years!
So
it's gone.
Today it's gone. It is not yet replaced, but it's gone. So this is cause for celebration, I think.
Yeah, we're having a work in progress here. But listen, the kitchen is the heart of your home. And with the amount that you cook, and for the large family that you have, and Charlotte throws wonderful parties. She's a wonderful hostess. And so when we come to their house and like the island is full of food and every surface in your kitchen is full of food, you need a big kitchen like this to be able to entertain the way you do. And it's lovely, so it's worth it. It's so worth it. I'm laughing because
the lady who's not paying for it.
I'm not paying for it, but I am laughing because I looked over by your stove and I see this huge hole and I can see a pipe in there, and I hadn't seen that part before. It's actually pretty funny.
And if you look this way, there's
the
electrical sticking
The electrical is going to be exciting because they're going to do the little lights underneath the cabinets, and it's going to be so homey.
It's going to be beautiful. It is not yet at that stage, and you know how those things go. But since some of you choose to watch every video that we put out, and thank you so much for that, that means that you have been staring for hours and hours and hours at 1986 oak cabinets. And so we hope that this is also an upgrade for you.
Hooray for 2023. Yay. Something that we were just talking about earlier in our Facebook group, we are finding that there are a lot of people with disabilities that, you know, you have good days and you have bad days. And on the good days, you can make these little mini meals for these little lunches or whatever and get them into your freezer, because inevitably the bad days come and you're not feeling so good. You can still have something to choose out of your freezer that is going to be simple, easy to reheat, and healthy, and get homemade, right? And get into your stomach. you need those on the rough days. And there are a remarkable amount of people in our Facebook group that mention this. So I'm so glad that we are able to show people how to do this.
So thankful for that. And we think that you are rock stars to take the time on the days that you have the energy and that you're feeling a little bit better and push through and make it so that on the days that you're having a rougher day, you've got the stuff in your freezer. So keep doing it. We are here cheering you on. And yeah, I just think it's amazing.
Yeah, it's very admirable, for sure. So we aren't really done with the turkey pot pie because I actually had a lot left over. I had more than I had pie crust for, so I just put it in a bag and I'm throwing it in the freezer. We will have it for another day. There is a lady in our Facebook group, I meant to look up her name, but recently she just posted she was making turkey pot pie and she said
I think it was chicken pot pie, but
it was chicken pot pie maybe. And she said her Italian mindset, it's like she was going to run out of food and she made 12. Well, she made the pies, but then she also had bags of the chicken pot pie mix. And it was like, oh yeah, you went like
those
a little
Those
far.
are so good for winter.
They're going to be great for winter.
And with the bag of the filling, the nice thing about that is there's so many different crusts you can make. You can stick it in a casserole dish and just do the Pillsbury biscuits on top.
Right.
Or you can do Bisquick, or
I like to do the puff pastry. That you can buy it in sheets or you can buy it in the little brick and you roll it out. That's my favorite kind.
Absolutely. So this next recipe that we made, I was super excited for because it's just something really different, something that you wouldn't really expect. Because a lot of times, you're making with your turkey leftovers like soups and those kind of things, and that's good too. But this was a turkey bacon ranch sliders. And so a little bit of a departure, a little bit of our fresh take on your leftover turkey sandwiches. But this is something where it can be in your freezer and you can have it months and months later. So it's when you're not sick of turkey anymore.
Right?
So all we did is we got a pack of sliders. You're just gonna cut that in half and then you're gonna place the bottom into a tray. And then you're gonna cover that with some ranch dressing. We love this jalapeno ranch dressing that you can get in the section of your grocery store that has the bagged salads. So good, but you can use regular ranch too. And then we added some bacon that is cooked. Now here what you wanna do is you wanna break the bacon up a bit so that when you're cutting these, you're not having to like power through and cut that bacon. So we just made sure that it sort of sat in where a slider would naturally come apart. And then we added our turkey slices. So that's just our leftover turkey. It's gonna be so much tastier than just using the deli turkey. And then we just added some cheese slices and then put the top on. I added some melted butter on top of that, just brushed it over everything and then sprinkled it with some dry onion. And I think this is going to be really good. You're gonna bake it up on the day of cooking so that that cheese melts and everything heats up, and then you can pull those apart and it's going to be amazing.
This recipe is a soup, and it is a bit of a classic, and it is one we have not done before.
It's true.
I was kind of surprised when I really thought about it, and it's time. It is time for turkey and wild rice soup. So we're going to start out with our turkey in the bag. And it was just what I had left over from after I was done cubing all of my turkey. And so it was about 2 cups, but I think you go up to 3 cups. It would be totally fine. And in it, we add in some minced garlic. Now we just use garlic from a jar. Sometimes I call it jarlic. It's just convenient. If you do a large amount of freezer meals, it's an easy way to just get your garlic in rather than mincing all of your own. We're gonna add in some diced onion, some carrots that have been chopped up, some sliced mushrooms. We're going to add in our wild rice. It's about a 3/4 cup here. And then we add in our bay leaf and the seasonings that we're gonna add in. Now we're gonna add in sage and thyme and rosemary and marjoram and a little pinch of nutmeg. Now, if you aren't familiar, that's basically poultry seasoning. So if you don't have all of those, or you don't want to do a bunch of steps, just a couple of teaspoons of poultry seasoning in there will be fine. And then again, that turkey stock that I had made up the day before, I put in, I put in about 6 cups. You could do 4 to 6 cups depending on how soupy you like your soup, but it is going to be so tasty. And then of course a little bit of salt and pepper to taste.
Some of our other ideas of things that we were going to make with leftover turkey, had we had more, which I still think we managed to make a whole lot, but some other ideas that we had, my Tante Giselle has this amazing chicken fried rice recipe that we use all the time. You can find that recipe on our website, but that recipe would be so good with turkey. Also, you can do like a turkey Alfredo bake. We've got quite a few pasta bakes that we do with chicken, and so you could just replace the chicken with the turkey and make that. You could do quesadillas with the turkey. There's all kinds of things that you could do with the leftover turkey.
And good old turkey salad, like how you'd have chicken salad sandwiches or with Ritz crackers. I had already done it with turkey for my kids to take to school. And so it is really kind of endless.
Now, you don't want to freeze
You don't
turkey
want to
salad?
freeze your turkey salad. I was just thinking of other things you could do, but you all know that one, I'm sure.
So there are a lot of things you can do to make sure that none of your turkey leftovers go to waste. And if you want, you can pop onto our website, and any of our chicken recipes that use cooked cubed chicken would work really well. And if you're a member of our Freezer Meals 101 club, you can just go in there and click the chicken button, populate those recipes, or you can type in the keyword search pre-cooked, and then anything that has cooked chicken will populate. So those are some tips for you there. The next time that you see us, hopefully we will be in a finished kitchen, or a lot more finished than it is now.
You don't like your backsplash like this? Oh yeah.
And if you've been watching us for a while, then you know that Christy and I do these mega sessions where we do 3 months of freezer meals at a time. We do it over the course of 2 days, but it's for you, it's one video. And we are due a little past due for that.
We're a little past due.
Because of my kitchen. And so one of the first things that you might see actually is our next mega session, when we finally have countertops and backsplash and a kitchen to do it in. So we're pretty excited for that. We've already planned what the recipes are going to be for that, and a good mix of like tried and true and some ones that we've been wanting to experiment with. We always do experiments for
Always do experiments, because how else are we going to keep it fresh for you guys?
Exactly. So thank you so much for joining us today, discovering what to do with those turkey leftovers. And for our American friends, happy Thanksgiving when that comes around. And for our Canadian friends, happy cooking. Happy fall!
Go Elks! Hopefully they have a good season. That's not looking good so far. We'll see. That's a football reference.
I got it. Happy cooking.
Bye.